education in Nigeria. And of course, the open season will come your way after the major news, which will come your way by 6. At the top of every hour, we'll bring you first the business news, then the news update, and of course the major news at 6. You want to stay tuned because it promises, like I would always say, to be interactive, interesting, and educative. I am Kala Dakurubatibo. Good evening, or is it good afternoon to you? 14 minutes good past the hour, so good afternoon to you, and welcome to Hard Facts on 92.3 Nigeria Info. All right, so I'm excited about my big headlines for today. You must have seen this as well. Tribunal dismisses application for live broadcast. Tribunal dismisses application for live broadcast. Dangote thanks Nigerians for supporting refinery. Okay, and then 70% of food exports from Nigeria rejected abroad. This is coming from NAFDAC, and this was yesterday's headline, but I really wanted us to talk about it, so I brought it into our discourse for today. And don't judge me based on my performance as a minister. Guess who's speaking? You must have seen the headline as well. It was from yesterday evening. Akpabio, who is looking at becoming the Senate president, is saying, see, guys, calm down. Like was it Femi Adesina said some time ago? Calm down, be calming down. Don't judge me because I was a minister, not so long ago. Judge me as a lawyer. Judge me as a governor of Akwa Ibom State, or a former governor of Akwa Ibom State. Judge me as a senator, but please don't judge me as a minister. And I wondered, what does that mean? What does that? Anyways, you get to have your say when I open the phone lines. And another one of interest for me is another headline from yesterday that is captioned like this: account for $460 million CCTV loan. Court orders federal government. Now, I have a problem with this order. The government is out in 7 days. Next week, Monday, the government is out and the new government comes in. Will government in this situation still be a continuum? That's where I find myself a little bit confused. So this is what I'm going to do. I'm going to open the phone lines so you can start reacting to any of these headlines that have piqued your interest, but not without reading a bit of these articles, because I know some of you would find it difficult to read for whatever reason it is. Some of you would find it really difficult to read. So I'm going to start with account for $460 million CCTV loan. Court orders federal government. The Federal High Court in Abuja has ordered the federal government to account for the spending of a $460 million Chinese loan to fund the failed Abuja closed-circuit television project. A statement on Sunday by the Socio-Economic Rights and Accountability Project said the court also ordered the government to publish the total amount of money paid to Chinese and local companies and contractors, and specific details of the names of the companies and contractors and status of the implementation of the project. According to the statement signed by Serap's Deputy Director Kolawole Oluwadare, Justice Emeka Nwite made the orders while delivering judgment on a Freedom of Information suit filed by Serap against the government. Serap said the suit followed the disclosure in 2019 by the Minister of Finance Zainab Ahmed that Nigeria was servicing the loan, adding that she had no explanations on the status of the project. Now, it's either at the time she did not know the details, or she just did not feel it necessary to tell us about the details. But now there is a court order. I'm wondering if this government will be able to obey the court order before leaving office. I'm wondering if the government will do. But $460 million is not small money for a country looking for funds, for a country looking at improving its revenue. And given that it is from a loan, we must utilize it judiciously, I must say. But moving on, I mean, you get a chance to talk about it eventually once I open the phone lines, which will be in a bit. But I want to read the next one. Don't judge me based on performance as a minister. This one is really interesting. A former governor of Akpabio State, Akpabio, has called on Nigerians and members of the incoming 10th National Assembly not to assess him using his brief tenure as Minister of Niger Delta Affairs. Akpabio said he preferred to be judged by his record as a lawyer of 36 years, commissioner for 6 years, and a governor for 8 years. Now, the Punch reported that Akpabio, who is Senator-elect for Akpabio Northwest, is one of the contenders for the office of the Senate President for the 10th National Assembly, scheduled for inauguration on June 6. He was first elected to the Nigerian Senate in 2015, from where he became the minority leader on the platform of the People's Democratic Party, but later defected to the ruling All Progressives Congress. So he has been a senator, he has been a minister, but he would rather be judged by his performance. When he was a governor, a commissioner, and before he even joined politics, when he was a professional lawyer, and says, judge me by my activities in these periods, but don't judge me as a minister, and by extension, what I've deduced, don't judge me as a senator as well. And then it reminds me of a statement Governor Wike made one time. Akpabio came visiting River State and said it used to be the people's choice. Is that, I can't remember the particular word he used or phrase he used to describe Senator Akpabio, but at the time he said now that he has defected to the APC, he's no longer the people's choice or something of that nature. But hey, how are you reacting to that one? And then of course, 70% of food exports from Nigeria rejected abroad, says NAFDAC. And this is my concern. Is it that we've been eating poison all along, or is it that these other countries are just bent on keeping us in economic what's the word now, the incapacitation? Is it that they are just going to keep us down economically, and that's why they refuse to take our exports? Or when I was having a conversation with someone from the Standard Organization of Nigeria, I think it was 2 weeks ago, our standards are not quality enough. Which is it for you? I do not know, but it's something I am interested in, because my goodness, what have we been consuming? These things are from our farmlands. These things are locally produced. By the way, you can begin dropping your contributions on WhatsApp and on text messages. And someone just said, uncommon governor. Thank you very much for that message. But you can start dropping your contributions on WhatsApp and via the text message portal, even on Facebook and on Twitter. I read them once I start taking contributions. For WhatsApp and text messages, the number is 0809 0306 Once again, 0809 0306 Facebook, Nigerian for PH. That's the handle. Twitter, Nigerian for PH. That's the handle. All right. Just drop your comments and contributions there, and I'll read them when it's time. Okay, so 70% of our food export from Nigeria rejected abroad, says NAFDAC. Director General of National Agency for Food and Drug Administration and Control, NAFDAC, Professor Mojisola Adeyeye, yesterday lamented that over 70% of food exports from Nigeria are rejected abroad, with huge financial losses to exporters and the country. Adeyeye, however, said the rejection in some European countries and the United States of America may soon become a thing of the past if collaboration between the agency and other government agencies at ports is strengthened. According to a statement signed by NAFDAC's resident media consultant, Sayo Akintola, the NAFDAC boss made the assertion over the weekend at official commissioning of the new NAFDAC office complex for the Murtala Mohammed International Airport, Nigerian Aviation Handling Company PLC, Lagos. Adeyeye said the deplorable state of export trade facilitation for regulated products leaving the country has remained a serious cause of concern for our agency, adding that a trip to NAFDAC export warehouses within the international airport would explain the major reason for continued rejection of Nigerian exports abroad. But you see, this is where my fear is. No, this is why I'm afraid. I mean, NAFDAC is more or less concerned about what we're exporting and it being rejected. I think NAFDAC should be more concerned about what we are consuming, because these things that are being rejected are the things you and I are consuming. I mean, I know some of you have already done breakfast, lunch, and in between dinner already. For those of you who love food so much, right? And then you already consumed a lot of these things. You consume them every day. And if they find it unhealthy abroad, once again, what have we been consuming? You and I. What have we been taking in? It's a cause for concern. It's a cause for concern. All right. The next headline that should interest you is Dangote thanks Nigerians for supporting refinery. I'm wondering, did we not? I mean, you get to answer that. The Chief Executive Officer of Dangote Industries, Aliko Dangote, has appreciated the President, Major General Muhammadu Buhari, the President-elect Bola Tinubu, and Nigerians at large for the support given towards the establishment of the Dangote Petroleum Refinery and Petrochemicals plant. The businessman expressed his appreciation via the group's Twitter handle on Monday. And the question I want to ask now is, as he thanking us, I hope in the coming months we'll also be thanking him as well. But not much to say. You get to react to that eventually. Tribunal dismisses application for live broadcast. Now that's for me biggest one this afternoon. Tribunal dismisses application for live broadcast. The Presidential Election Petition Court has dismissed the application by the People's Democratic Party and its presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar to allow for a live broadcast of the court proceedings. The five-man panel by Justice Aruna Samani dismissed the request, which was made by the aggrieved parties and candidates of the People's Democratic Party and the Labour Party, as lacking in merit, and rejected it. The court held that allowing cameras in the courtroom is a major judicial policy that must be supported by law. However, according to the ruling, no regulatory framework or policy direction permitted it to grant the application. Now, I'm quoting the Punch. The court can only be guided and act in accordance with the practice, directions, and procedures approved by the President of the Court of Appeal. We cannot permit a situation that may lead to dramatization of our proceedings, Justice Samani said. Furthermore, the court held that the request was not part of any relief sought by petitioners and had no bearing on it. Okay, these are my big headlines. 27 minutes gone past the hour of 3. Time to hear from you. How are you reacting to some of the headlines were from the weekend, 2 of them from this afternoon. How are you reacting to these headlines? You get to choose just one, and I already know a lot of you would choose a particular one, but you get to choose just one so that other people can contribute, and you get about maybe 1 minute 30 seconds to do your contributions. So I'm giving you 90 seconds. Go straight to the point and let me know what you think. For me, I know some of you would want to go for the tribunal dismissing the application of a live broadcast. For me, if I were the listener right now, 2 headlines stand out for me. Don't judge me based on my performance as minister. Is that a judgment on this current administration, or is that a judgment on his time as minister and senator? Were there things he did that all of a sudden he's not proud of as it becomes, or he attempts to become the Senate president? But then, looking at those people gunning, who should for the first stone? Who should put the stone? So like, it's a headline for me. And then the other one is 70% of food exports from Nigeria rejected abroad, says NAFDAC. And if I am to add, something, I think I did see something in our news bulletin. Forgive me, I know I've taken a lot of the time. Okay, so we talked about the tax force on was it Friday, was it Thursday, my unpopular opinion on that day, and I was asking, should we have them back? Do we miss them at the junctions? And I was going past the nearest junction to me, and I saw Sanity. And hey, the tax force are back. The tax force are back. And the question now I want to ask is, do you think the tax force are back? Muriel is calling from Okrika. Let's hear Muriel. Muriel, good afternoon to you.
Kalada, good afternoon.
All right, welcome.
Thank you, Kalada. You see, Kalada, the one that concerns me most is NAFDAC.
Okay.
And the foods that were rejected by the outside, is it the US or let's say
European.
When you come to UPTH or other hospitals, especially the children's section, there was a child I saw that has cancer of the eyes. And the eyes, in fact, you can't even sleep after seeing this baby. And I began to wonder, what is causing all these things in this nation? So many illnesses. They are proud to tell us that they rejected our food. The international community rejected our food. They are trying to tell us, and they don't know that they are failed in their responsibility. Look at the common sachet water. Everybody can produce it. As long as you have buckets and you have baler, just know how to see. You're automatically a pure water producer. The NAFDAC are failed, and they open their mouth to tell us these things. And sometimes, I wonder whether is it our soil? Is it that our soil is not good enough? Or is it the fertilizer we're using to produce this product? Or is it that the packaging of the product as they want to export it is the issue? Do we not know how to package? Can NAFDAC not give us international standard of packaging food? They will just allow investors, people that are investing in food, to waste money, package the food, and when they get it, they reject it. Do you know how?
All right, Muriel, I think I have to let you go.
To do this business.
All right, Muriel, I've got.
NAFDAC have failed. So many illnesses, cancer everywhere in this nation.
All right.
NAFDAC, they should be held responsible.
All right, thank you very much, Muriel. There, Reginald is calling from Chokocho. Reginald, your time starts now.
Yes. Let me ask you, Akpabio, don't judge me as a minister. I want to disagree with him completely, because Akpabio is holding a public office on our behalf. And he is responsible, his duty is to. So if you are giving a minister and telling him to not judge you, we will judge you, because if the system is not accommodative or is not able to do that, I am supposed to do so, and the system situation where you stay protected from you, and even the issues the elements of the that people have been trying for the past 6 years, and I don't know, they know that that's all the room of corruption that the witness in the night of Nigeria, and you are telling the follow to judge you. We will judge you. We also applaud you. You have to take the that you have said. People must not accountable. I do it now. Thank you very much.
All right, thank you very much, Ran from Chokoto. I have Robbie from H. Welcome.
Thank you very much,
All right.
Nigeria, Africa, the world, particularly myself, I already put somewhere. One man called the Ghanaian is the greatest thinker in Nigeria.
Okay.
Who has never held any political office. Has found out today to be the thinker. A man who comes from the country that has no business with oil. Now talk about a refinery to cushion the effect of the troubles Nigerians go through. We have governors, we have presidents that have around the whole world.
All right.
Probably who are going to hold me in France, in UK, in America, and everywhere. Not doing one best of Nigeria. Ghana has made me proud. I don't care how any person thinks. This is my view.
All right.
They have put the refinery according to the biggest Atlantic. And today, Nigerian politicians are gathering around him to shake hands.
Not just Nigerian politicians, African politicians. African, please put it up. African politicians.
Yes, Africans are there.
Okay.
I'm talking about Nigeria.
Okay.
Today, record Dangote, greatest thing of my time.
Okay.
The God plan. The people who called the leaders here, infrastructure to bring people to build. Everybody here is about here.
Bless you too, Robin. I got Jude from Omakuni. Jude.
Yeah, don't let me as performance as a minister. No, that's the one we will judge him for. That's the most recent appointment he had serving Nigeria generally as a minister of the Federal Republic of Nigeria. This is an indictment. He has indicted himself. He has realized it from very well. So he indicted himself, and we know he did not. Definitely we will judge his performance. More than any other appointment he has had. He was a governor, he was a lawyer, he was a service state, in a lawyer, private minister, serving the whole Federal Republic. He wants to be a female president, serve Nigeria. Oh, we will judge him. He was minister of there.
Okay.
And then we all know what happened.
Okay.
He didn't do well.
In your own judgment, let's put it that way. In your own judgment, he did not do well, right? That's what you're saying.
Okay. Whatever it is, he has enjoyed himself.
Right.
So, since he knows he didn't perform the rest or the starting point, forget about the appointment. Don't want to appoint him as a senate president. Should he have said, and what I'm saying?
Okay.
He didn't perform well. He knows he did not perform well. Therefore, he's not fight for the ability to serve here.
All right then. All right, dude. Thank you very much. Avanus calling from Aba. So, Avanus, good afternoon to you.
Thank you. Good afternoon.
Let's talk.
Tribunal refused live account of proceedings. I some of us already know that. The only thing that can surprise more Nigerians is if this tribunal can go and do otherwise. That's right then.
And in your opinion, what is the right thing? No, now we have a conversation. In opinion, what is the right thing?
That's the thing. How can I false all this life and life of it?
But the tribunal gave his. Okay.
Did you circulate where judge last elected for epidemic?
Okay.
So how can something that affects the public? How can a tribunal being paid by taxpayers reject people from having a of what?
Now, Silvanus, let's have a conversation once. Now, the courts did say that it's not in their laws to allow cameras into the court. One, maybe it is in the UK. I do not. I'm somewhere going somewhere. Now, the laws, according to this judge, does not allow cameras into the courtroom. Two, that the court will not permit the dramatization of court proceedings, where one thing happens in court and then it's taken outside and interpreted in different ways, media, by the people, and then preempted the court. That's what they were saying, not me. I'm just interpreting.
That is what.
Okay.
These are the people paying the people on that bench. So what will a people from Jenny having the session of what's going on?
Okay.
So the government that people are not coming to that, they should have stopped in court for.
Okay.
They should have stopped from coming now. So see, in this country, exceptions into doing right. Sometimes the moment that the next will resign. The law is saying resign. Because he did not wear in office.
It wasn't just that, there were so many issues. It wasn't that.
The image was not the heading that election up now.
Right, Valus, thank you very much. I've got the call from Chukli. That's it. Yes. Yeah, good news us now. What's your question?
I decided that you could not perform well with the way where maybe the of the money that you could come. And about the way to the Senate president, it's not like making me a son of my corner. Most Nigerians don't care. All this should care. Because the president that is going to govern is the bishop of the Senate. The president of the governor of the state. That he has already told us his level of that.
But if by when he was governor, that would be a judgment, right? Because it would be believed that formed while he was governor. Maybe that also actually with me.
Nobody will even remember him about his activity as a minister. He is one in Nigeria. Because what he really means is you perform as a minister.
Okay.
Most people are not even of performance minister. This is not really confirmed. This is a first minister as far as concerned.
Right.
Because I judge him as governor and I'm reformer. I would judge him a lawyer, but now he already added me that maybe as a minister that he could not do that in Nigeria already. So as it stands now, we judge him as minister. In fact, we even just the issue of him being governor, or he being a lawyer, whatever.
Right.
But so as a minister, they have told already that something wrong happened.
I think Andy, this column's Andy, put the rages there. Good afternoon.
Yeah, I want to based on him being minister.
Okay, what are you going to do?
Yeah, I want to him because guiding to say I get them before property.
Okay, you got me there. You got me there.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because human beings can change moment in
Okay.
Bible said it. Yes, that we should not put our trust in man. We should put our trust in God.
Okay.
And he's a man who is after body. When the governor, when he was a lawyer, he did very, very well. We can see as fresh as he is when it comes to what happened to DDD. We watch it on television. And he's playing as a news on night, mostly Nigerians.
Honorable Minister, turn your mic, please.
Please, I will not have my mind because it's my right. So in essence is, please, it's a way to Nigeria because this president will not have anything. They don't have anything. The president said for and for what the end of the nation. They show us the fact Canada is something, but just not the power to them. You
can go.
Because of the sanction.
Thank you very much. And I see, I thought the reason he was voted out of office or even resigned. Actually, now there were a series of events. Now remember when that case came up and I went out to party and I mean he survived the vote no confidence. I guys cabinet members and he was behind pressing. Was it a back burn or something? It was a series of events and then people started resigning from his cabinet. This is not a one. Good evening, Kada. What would be just the president of the city? I think Auntie wearing big fan, a simple man with big dreams. Our politicians, big fan. Good actually moving from big governor to senator to minister and back to senator. If he failed as a minister, which was his last appointment, then it means he's given his all as governor. Yeah, offer again. Akpabio is nothing to offer a repeat, but people voted him to represent them. Think about an angle. Now, I've got melody was modular refineries that will break this Dangote official monopoly. The corruption under this government has body odor. As for the tribunal, what are they hiding? Melody with that one there. Canada, I just believe most of these loans that we have taken, they can't give account of white elephant projects that have, or 70% of the monies have gone to private pockets. It is just so sad that the PDP stole all they could during their time and APC is still in Korokoro broad daylight like this. Look at all these last minute contracts APC is awarding. Can corruption ever end in Nigeria? Who will bail us out? Franklin is asking on WhatsApp. Let's take this one. Dangote refinery opens eyes. I don't get. Okay, Dangote refinery opens eyes crude from 3 continents. Dangote refinery will take care of our 100% local oil consumption product. Is a welcome development, but is that the reason they don't want to give license to the Niger Delta states to build modular refineries? Is that the reason they have refused to rehabilitate the Warri and Port Harcourt refineries to function? There is politics behind all of these, and now we can see the politics. Good afternoon, KD. But I should correct something there because this is hard facts, and I mean I deal with facts. Modular refineries have been built in certain parts and are being built in other parts of the Niger Delta. In those states, if you can Google, there are 2 refineries that have been built waiting for licensing. In Port Harcourt, I think the former commissioner for energy and natural resources once told us that there is one project ongoing in River State. At what phase it is, I do not know, but he did say. And then I think someone from the NNPCL last week, or was it last week or 2 weeks ago, or sometime within the month, did say that Port Harcourt refinery would now be completed by the end of this year, and Warri and Kaduna sometime in 2024. So I mean, let's not generalize our comments now, please. This one says, good afternoon, Canada. When NAFDAC says 70% of food exports from Nigeria rejected because of standard, what exactly do they mean? Standard in what area? NAFDAC should please explain this to the nation, because standard to me is a complex word. You did not drop your name, but thank you nonetheless for sending in your WhatsApp message. So many messages. I'm going to try. As it says, you were an uncommon governor while in PDP. Now you've defected to APC. You're now a common minister. Okay, someone helping me with The quote from the governor. Kalada, you see, sincerely speaking, in a climb, there is no way an Akpabio should be aspiring, talk less of becoming a Senate president with all the scandals surrounding him. Anyone with a questionable personality or character should not be eligible to vie for a public office. Alas, this is Nigeria. Akpabio cannot tell us the indices to judge him. He's not. Okay? Gay from Inigua, thank you very much for your message. Let's look at this one. Good afternoon, my presenter. Some Nigerian foodstuff is the right word. Some Nigerian foodstuff marketers don't know how to safely store and preserve foodstuff. Some apply insecticides and preservatives today and sell it tomorrow for consumption. This has killed or harmed a lot of people perhaps. Another commodity they don't know how to store or keep carelessly is Gary. They keep it open and allow rats, roaches and insects to dirty and poop in it and later sell it to innocent Nigerians. That's a scary picture you've just painted now. Ilemona Vincent texting from Port Harcourt. Okay. I'm going to take another call now. 92.3.
Good afternoon. My name is Goody, calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, Goody from Port Harcourt. Welcome. Let's hear your contribution.
Right, Dangote. I think I love that man myself now. The man is a humble man.
Okay.
You see, when a controversial president like Obasanjo entered into power, he had problem with Edith Carlo and Tinubu of Lagos 2010. You see, the problem was he thought that he could not even visit that day, and Lagos State, even the Tinubu of them told him, "You are the president of Nigeria, I am the president of Lagos." I will remember. You see, with all these things, yes, Dangote was somebody who was very, very humble. He don't have any problem with controversial Obasanjo. Yet after Obasanjo, he had Yaradua. He couldn't have problem with Yaradua. And Jonathan, he didn't have problem with Jonathan. Even this president...
So basically you're saying he has been all-weather, as we say in our local parlance.
Very nice man. You don't see his picture anywhere. Sometimes, if I did in some people, you will see the picture of Dangote at his place, at some board. Some people now, as I'm talking to you, cannot even identify Dangote when they see the picture. Even when they see the picture, they will not tell you this is Dangote. The man is so humble.
All right,
he can parade himself.
All right.
He's a very good man. The people should allow him. So far as he's going far, he's bringing it financially. I think Nigeria is having a product that they are produced that is competing with the whole world, not in Africa. Because in Africa now he is the number one. So I thank Dangote. I love him very, very well. Whenever you see him in Canada, Karen Kuti said that congratulations.
All right, Goody, thank you very much for your time. I'll pass your message on. Celestine is calling from Sass Road. Celestine, good afternoon.
Yes, hello guys. Good evening.
It's still afternoon. Good afternoon to you.
It's almost 4. Good afternoon.
All right, all of the above. Let's go ahead with your contribution then.
All right. The court not allowing streaming of the presidential tribunal.
Yeah.
I thought that this is just an exposing again of our laws and constitution.
Okay.
The problem that we have in this country, most of the political problems we have, it is because of the ambiguity of our constitution.
Okay.
So most of the problems are fundamental because if the judges say it is not in the law for them to bring camera into the court, of course they have right. But that is again exposing our system. Why? You know, it's just like during the cash, this new Naira redesign, what Nigerians went through that period, it exposed our banking system, their internet system. Because everybody was subjected to internet banking in that period, it couldn't hold water. So a lot of things that need to be fundamentally dealt with, in our system, which is this particular one. In this country, a governor can do whatever he likes because of impunity. Kalaga, is it so in every other country? That you can't bring a sitting governor to book. You can't take his SSs.
My brother, there's little or nothing we can do until we look at that document that we call our constitution.
Okay. All
and
right,
amazingly, those who are in authority now, who are benefiting from the error, from the lacuna, from the problems in that law, would not want to amend it.
All right.
That's the problem.
All right, summarize, please.
They know the gray areas.
Summarize, please.
Because they are enjoying it, they are not about to address it.
All right, thank you very much, Celestine from South Road. I've got Daniel. Ooh, I lost the connection with Daniel. I'm sorry. I think that's the last call I would take. Let's see. There's this message. There is a functioning modular refinery in Imo State as well, right? Thank you for that addition. I would have to check that up. I don't know about that. This one says, this is hard facts. Don't be afraid. Don't let people be afraid to make contributions. I'm sorry, making your contribution does not mean breaking the law. They're two different things. You can make your contributions, but please, I would not let you say things that are illegal on my show. You take it or leave it. I'm not going to be pushed around. You take it or leave it. All right, one last call and then we'll wrap things up. 92.3.
Yeah, Canada, good afternoon.
Yeah, good afternoon. What's your name, please?
Different man calling from Port Harcourt.
All right, different man. Let's hear your different opinion quickly.
Yeah. You see, the decision of the judge not to, broadcast the proceedings as regard the tribunal, presidential tribunal, is an indication that, to me, they have something to hide.
All right, to you, right?
Yes, it may not be in a constitution, but there is nowhere in a constitution where you are prohibited from broadcasting a court proceeding.
Okay.
I sense something fishy there, and I just hope that Nigerians will not cry again, because if they fail to do the right thing, it may cause a lot of problems. If they choose to do what some of their primaries have ordered them to do, they may throw this country into an act. I hope it doesn't happen.
All right, we shouldn't pray for that.
On the issue of
one headline.
People that are hitting the man are just actually hitting him.
All right.
To me, I don't see anything wrong with the man.
All right, thank you very much. But I've got to let you go one headline per person, yeah? Let's keep to the rules. And this one says, Kalada Akpabio said no one should judge him when he was a minister. What Akpabio means was that he wanted to perform, but his hands were tied by the president. Johnny from Abua. All right. Thank you very much for your time. We'll have to take a short break. And after that, business news at 4 p.m. When we come back, we talk about the spate of insecurity in River State. Remember, you still have the opportunity to make your contributions when it's time for the open season, which will come your way after the major news by 6. I am Kalada Kurubatibo. You can call me Kalada Do Stations.